reminding you that climate change isn't simply going away with everything else going on. The Arctic has hit its hottest temperature ever. And this is not just a one-off. It's actually been a trend. So let me first give you the top line here from Common Dreams. Quote, "This scares me," says Bill McKibben, climate activist, as Arctic hits 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. Hottest temperature on record. 100 Fahrenheit, about 70 miles north of the Arctic Circle, today in Siberia. That's a first in all of recorded history. We are in a climate emergency. And so they began recording, record keeping back in 1885. So that's the reference point, and it's the hottest recorded ever. Now, some more information here. Scott from Scotland tweeted out, "We are in a relentless Arctic heat wave. Siberia is literally on fire right now, and it's set to continue. Temperatures will comfortably exceed plus 30 degrees Celsius within the Arctic Circle over the next 10 days at least. It is a staggering plus 20 to 25 Celsius warmer than it should be." And you can view the heat here around the Arctic. Now, this is a little closer view at an actual satellite image, but let me give you the tweet here first. So Kilkenny Weather tweets out saying, "Satellite image today showing extensive smoke and fires east of Verkhoyansk." I think that's how you say it. I'm not really good at pronouncing names. But blue-colored ice in Laptev Sea is an indication of melting ice, and there is lots of open water visible in the East Siberian Sea. So you can see here the East Siberian Sea, lots of visible water in the area as the ice is melting. Now, more here from CBS. What's perhaps even more impressive is that this relative warmth has persisted since December, with average temperatures in Western Siberia 10 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, doubling the previous departure from average in 2016. So you can see that in the graph here. Now, this part really should strike you. The average heat across Russia from January to May is so remarkable that it matches what's projected to be normal by the year 2100 if current trends in heat trapping carbon emissions continue. So the temperatures that they're experiencing right now is what they were supposed to be experiencing in the year 2100, in 80 years. So right now they are experiencing the temperatures that they should be experiencing 80 years from now. Showing you, look, when the science is off, it's only ever off because it underestimates the actual damage, which means that, ideas like the Green New Deal, we don't have 10 years to implement that. We have 5 years. We should be taking a real look at transforming society off of fossil fuels. The fact that this is even a debate still shows you just how completely out of touch politics is with science and reality. In the image below, the data point for 2020 is almost off the charts and matches what climate models expect to be typical many decades from now. So let me give you some context here, some more context. So temperatures in the polar regions are rising fastest because ocean currents carry heat towards the poles and reflective ice and snow is melting away. Thawing permafrost was at least partly to blame for a spill of diesel fuel in Siberia this month that led Putin to declare a state of emergency. The supports of the storage tank suddenly sank, according to its operators. Green groups said aging and poorly maintained infrastructure was also to blame. Wildfires have raged across hundreds of thousands of hectares of Siberia's forests. Farmers often light fires in the spring to clear vegetation, and a combination of high temperatures and strong winds has caused some fires to burn out of control. Swarms of the Siberian silk moth, whose larvae eat at conifer trees, have grown rapidly in the rising temperatures. Quote, "In all my long career, I've never seen moths so huge and growing so quickly," Vladimir Solotov, a moth expert, told AFP. So they're referencing this as, a number of changes happening in the region. And, when it comes to wildfires, a lot of the impact of those changes on what's happening with the ice. So, look, this is the kind of topic, climate change, that I know it's incredibly hard for people to even be interested in. And I think a large reason for that is because it's so easy to feel helpless. These conversations are are vast. I mean, there is so much here to take in to understand what is happening, and seeing how big the problem is and knowing how little power that we have to actually change it, I think just makes a lot of us feel helpless when seeing a story like the Arctic, the highest temperature ever recorded. Like, what do most people do with that information? It can be hard to know. But at the very least, you have to understand, or you have to be able to push your politicians in a direction that is nowhere near where they currently are. So when it comes to climate policy, this is something that it can be hard to focus on something where you're not going to see the impact of it immediately. But it is, if we are able to transform our society completely off of fossil fuels, it will have an impact, but it has to be done as quickly as possible. As we are seeing, the science often underestimates the timeline in terms of how quickly all of this is impacting us. So there is no time really to debate any of this anymore. And I mean, when it comes to like the Green New Deal, it is really just the baseline in terms of what needs to be done. So I don't know. I hope more people see stories like this and are able to properly absorb what needs to be done. But ultimately, it has to be up to our political leaders, because this is something where they have to take a stand or it's going to be too late.